India's journey to independence. Ancient India is known for contributions to math, and science, and architecture. Ancient Indian empires are some of the largest in history. The Mughal Empire was the last great empire of India. Traders from around the globe came to India. The British East India Company represented British trading around the globe, and they monopolized trading with the Mughal Empire. The East India Company becomes extremely powerful and begins to challenge the Mughal Empire for control. In 1757, war breaks out and the Mughal Empire is defeated. The company will rule for 100 years. Indians are forced to serve in the army. They're called sepoys. In 1857, they rebel and try to violently get rid of the British. "100,000 Indians are slaughtered, and the British government steps in to take over India. They call the colony the Raj. The Queen of England was named the Empress of India. India would become the most valuable colony, the jewel in the crown. Indians were used as labor for British, as servants or farmers. Famine was common, leading to the deaths of millions. Gandhi, educated as a lawyer in London, encounters British racism in another British colony, South Africa. He begins participating in protests and marches against the British policies. Gandhi returns to India and begins to work with the Indian National Congress to gain rights for Indians. After World War I, where many Indians died fighting for the British, the call for more rights became stronger. In 1919, hundreds of innocent Indians were murdered at a festival in Amritsar. The homespun movement was a boycott protest movement where Indians burned their British clothes and made their own. In 1930, the Salt March would use civil disobedience to challenge the unfair British salt tax. "60,000 Indians were arrested and many killed." Indians call for independence and nationalism, getting your own country, so the British began arresting the leaders. When World War II erupts, the Indians once again are called upon to support the British. The British government struggles to fight the Nazis and Japanese while trying to contain the Indian nationalist movement. The Indians began the final protest, the 1942 Quit India movement, while the British are the weakest. The mantra is do or die. We shall enter the free India or die in the attempt. We shall not live to see the perpetuation of our slavery. Gandhi. The Quit India movement was 2 years of constant strikes and protests. Finally, the British give in and agree to grant India independence. The problem is that most Hindus want a unified India, while many Muslims want a separate country of their own. Many areas are nearly equally divided between Hindu and Muslim. Finally, after no one can agree, the British decide that India will be divided, but they only give them 5 weeks to figure it out. British Lord Radcliffe drew borders on the map, making majority Muslim areas into East and West Pakistan. The borders went through people's houses and even libraries. $15 million people were kicked out of their homes. One of the largest mass migrations in human history. Violence between Hindu and Muslims lead to 2 million murders. Gandhi wanted a unified India, but had agreed to a partition to try and keep peace between Hindus and Muslims. In 1947, India is finally free. An angry Hindu nationalist murders Gandhi for his compromise to divide India. India and Pakistan became fierce rivals, fighting many wars over territory and competition.